Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Sam from The Dev Way, and in this episode, we're gonna talk about how to have a better lifestyle and work-life balance, and also how to boost your productivity as a software developer, programmer, or someone in the tech industry. So let's get into the episode. As a software developer, programmer, or someone within the tech industry, it's actually really easy to burn yourself out with work, have a terrible work-life balance, and also become like a machine, a one-dimensional human being that cannot focus on other aspects of life and is only good at one thing, and that thing is the career, and that is programming. So we're going to take care of yourself, and we're going to come up with some ideas that can actually help us to focus on other aspects of life as well as working in a productive way. Because after all, we need to take care of ourselves and also look at this career as a long run and at something we want to do for a longer period. Otherwise, we're going to get burned out, we're going to hate what we're doing, and we're going to be not happy about what we're doing on a daily basis. So I want to share with you some tips and tricks from my own experiences working in several companies on different projects. These are the things that I actually executed and tried, and I could see how much it could affect and improve my lifestyle and productivity as I worked in this industry. I was a happier person. I started to like what I did more than before, just like the first day I started this career. And overall, it gave me a better quality of life as I was working. So the first thing I want to share with you is plan your work. This is something that is really important to do, and it's better to do that on a daily basis, and also you can do it on a weekly basis, or you can just do them both. And this helped me a lot after I started to do that, and I think it's mandatory for all of us to do such thing. And if you're like me, you might think, okay, I have a lot of things in my head about what I want to do. I perfectly pictured some of them. I don't like to write them down. I don't like to think about them again. I just want to start doing them and save the time and actually get more things done as I start to work on them sooner. But this is not really good for productivity, because if you have a lot of things on your mind, you might start working, get yourself into the code, get yourself into the problem you try to solve, and then you overwhelm yourself with a lot of ideas, a lot of things that you're actually thinking about, and get yourself into a confused state of what you're trying to achieve. And that frustrates you and makes you more tired. It's not really good to have a lot of things in mind. So it's better to write them down on a piece of paper or use a task management app. Trello is my favorite, by the way. But you can use a lot of other things as you go, as you plan your tasks, and don't go into a lot of details. Just try to figure out what you want to do and what are the main points of the things you're going to do on the day or during the week. And also try to go through the things you wrote down, the things you plan on a more specific and detailed way as you're starting to do that. This will help you to put things on perspective before actually executing them and before actually doing them. And this will help you to not get yourself into the situation that you're already coding, you're inside code, you're confused about some of the things you're going to do. Maybe you're predicting some of the things that you will do in the future, and this will overwhelm you. This will make you more tired, and you can lose your focus over this. If you plan it, you will stick to the plan. You look at the things you wrote down on perspective before starting them. And as you're moving forward, you already have a blueprint in your mind of what actually you are trying to achieve. And it's actually better than starting them right away and then try to think about all the other things that are going through your mind. So definitely try this approach. I'm sure you get value from it, and you will have a lot of things more clear than just having them in your mind on the top of your head. The next thing I want to share with you is socializing. You need to try to socialize and interact with other human beings. This is a part of our nature. This is in our genes. If we don't communicate with each other, we're gonna be only good at one thing. We're not able to share ideas. That will kill our creativity and productivity, and also we'll lose touch to each other. And it's really important to do this, especially if there are different people working on different things, whether they're colleagues, your classmates, or just friends that you hang out, you talk about different stuff with them. This will actually help you to get a better understanding of how other people work and do. So my suggestion is, if you're working in a company, go interact, go socialize with other people, especially in other departments that mostly you don't work directly with. Try to figure out what they are doing on a daily basis. Try to explain to them what are you doing. Just exchange some information, and that will give you much better perspective of what other people are doing. And when you solve problem, that will actually help you to put things on a better perspective. Let's say you're doing a project and you are already talking to the salespeople, the marketing people, or the business people behind that project. When you start to communicate with them, you get a better understanding of how they think and operate. And let's say you're working on the same project, but you're in the tech part. Then when you're working on the project, you will have a better understanding of how things should work in terms of sales, marketing, and in terms of other people that are dealing with the exact same project, only on a different sector. The next thing I want to share with you is do something creative. I'm sure we as humans have different interests and enjoy doing different things, but we cannot focus too much on one thing. It's not healthy. If we're coding, if we're doing something in tech, it's really easy to get caught up in a one-dimensional lifestyle where your only focus is doing your tasks, doing your work, and also on your free time, try to learn something new, try to be a better software developer, try to be better at what you do. But we need to pay attention to the creative side of our mind as well, and try to do the things we enjoy other than actually coding and other than actually working with a computer. Whether that's a physical work, creative work, like making videos, making music, let's say working with wood, gardening, anything other than just coding and thinking with the logical side of our mind. This is actually really helpful because it will wake up the creative side of your brain, and as you're working on your technical parts and the code that you make, it will help you think better and come up with a better solution. And to be honest, this is one of the reasons I'm starting this YouTube channel. I always like to work with videos, I always like to edit them, but I didn't get the chance. I was so caught up into coding and doing my regular work day after day, learn. But then I realized I need to do something other than that and be better at that as well. And also, I'm a self-taught developer. I learned programming just with the internet, just with the help of the community, the great community we have around. Since I'm interested in videos and content creation, I thought maybe I can help this community in a way that they helped me to get here at the point I am in my life. The next thing I want to share with you is to exercise. We might hear this all the time. We need to be healthy, we need to exercise, we need to move our body. But this is just the truth. If we don't take care of ourselves, if we don't take care of our body, we're gonna drop sooner or later. And if you're working in the tech industry, it's actually really easy to just sit down in front of a computer, in front of a screen, just try to solve problems, don't get enough sun, you don't have the muscle movements that your body needs. This is not healthy. And also this is not productive because your brain gets tired way sooner when you don't have body movements. When you're just at the same place, looking at the same screen and don't change the environment around you. So the best thing you can do is to exercise one way or another. If you can go to the gym, that's great. If you're already doing a sport, that's awesome. But even if you can't do that, if you don't have enough time, you need to change your lifestyle in a way that you move your body, you keep the blood flowing through your muscles. Try to change how you go to work or your university if you're a student. Try to use a bicycle, try to walk. Even if you can't do that, if it's too far away, try to have a kettlebell, a dumbbell around you. Try to get on that every 1 hour, every 2 hours, do some exercises, move your muscles a little bit. Just try to have that blood pressure going on and then go back to work. This is actually actually really effective. If you do that, you instantly realize that how better you feel, how better you can solve problems, and how much you feel better while you're working. So this is definitely something you want to do, although it's difficult, especially starting it. But as soon as you start it, it becomes like a habit for you. You will definitely see the changes and you don't want to go back to the same place you were. The last tip I want to mention is to focus at one thing at a time. This is really important because if you overwhelm yourself with a lot of ideas and try to achieve a couple of things at the same time, you get yourself tired and you cannot do one thing well. And to be honest, this has a really big connection between the planning part that I mentioned as the first tip, because you're only able to do this when you plan your work, because you also need to look at the bigger picture and put the things on perspective. But when you plan that, you do that separately. You think about the bigger picture and the perspective part. Then when you start to do actual work, you can try to focus at one thing at a time and think about it on a linear basis. What am I gonna do now? And what's the next move? And then you kind of break that big problem or the big task into smaller pieces, and you only focus on those smaller pieces, and as you do them, as you accomplish them, you move to the next one. This also has a really good feeling, because when you chunk them into smaller things and you finish them, you get a better feeling. You get a feeling of accomplishment, and that feeling drives you to even go further and go for the next one. And next thing you know, you executed the whole thing and you can cross it off from your list. So that's it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it and got value from it. If you did, make sure to hit the like button and also share it with a friend. And also let me know in the comment section down below if you tried any of these tips or you have a better approach to have a better lifestyle and life quality and be more productive as you work within the tech industry. Also, don't forget to subscribe to this channel and turn on the ring bell so you don't miss out on any content. And I'll see you in the next one, guys. Peace.